Hi everyone, you found the Just Ride Snowboard channel. I'm Lars Horstman. Today not in my little home office, but actually on the mountain for you with an exercise that will help you with upper body stabilization through your turns. So quite often I'm being asked about video analysis and how to film yourself or how to be filmed by someone and what actually offers useful footage. Here's one camera angle that you can achieve quite easily with an Insta360 X4 camera and the 3-meter extendable selfie stick. Okay, that's my X4, and this giant selfie stick actually fits into the inside pocket. It's going to stick out here a little bit, but it doesn't really bother me riding, and that's amazing. So I can bring this thing, pop it onto the camera, and this extends to an absolutely wild 3 meters or 10 feet. So check this out. Now, what would you want to do with a pole this long? You don't need it that long, first of all. It's maybe a little bit dangerous. But if you go to 2.40 meters, you actually get a nice bar. And there's many people out there talking about upper body stabilization / leveling your shoulders to the ground at any given point throughout your turn. And this kind of tool, some form of a bar you can hold in front of you, is going to help you with that tremendously. And if you can attach a camera to the other end of that stick, you obviously get footage to analyze what you've been doing on snow. So this is literally a double whammy. It helps with riding and it also gets you really cool footage. Let me show you what to do. I'm obviously a posse rider, but this goes for duck foot as well. It is, however, an exercise that in my opinion is a little bit nicer to use in a positive stance or with a directional duck stance where you're not symmetrically, let's say 15 minus 15, but more like 21 on the front foot, minus 6 on the back foot, something that already opens the hip towards the nose a little bit more. So you're in this position, and what we want to do is we want to keep our upper body open towards the nose of the board, so we don't have this flailing back hand, in particular on our heel turns. So therefore we just bring that hand forward and we get into this kind of neutral and stable riding position. You don't have to be perpendicular to the board with this pole, but just kind of open, right? So what I'm going to do now to get on my toe edge, so I'm going to pinch this hip, drop this hip down and lift this arm, which is what's going to level my shoulders to the slope, right? So that's my toe turn. The heel turn looks the exact opposite. I'm going to drop this hip. I'm going to keep my upper body over the knees. I'm going to hinge forward a little bit, and I'm going to drop this shoulder and lift this one. So that'll look something more like this. I want to bend here and bring this arm down and lift this one up. Let's see how that looks on snow and what kind of footage we actually get out of that. If you've never done a drill like this before, it might be better to start out with a cord rather than a stick. The issue can be with a stick that once your hands are on it, you really lose the ability to use your hands for like micro balancing movements. So with a rope, you maintain a little bit of that, and then you can slowly step it up to a stick. You also, of course, don't need to go straight to like a 2-meter stick with a camera. You can use whatever thing fits in your pocket and is maybe a little extendable to get your hands a little further than shoulder width apart. As I said earlier, the ultimate goal here is upper body stabilization, and what that really means in return, that this exercise will get you to focus on lower joints and on your hips. We need to learn to let our hips cross the board through crunching the obliques. And stabilizing your upper body with a stick like this really helps with that, because you can see this stick in front of you and you can actually self-monitor whether you are keeping your hands level to the slope. So here you can see how the bar that I'm holding is totally parallel to the slope. And just to define terminology, I'm going to talk about inside shoulder as the right shoulder that you see here. That's the shoulder inside of the turn, and that is actually my left shoulder. And I'm going to talk about outside shoulder, which is the left shoulder you see here, which is actually my right shoulder. So inside shoulder in this image is lifting up. Dumping that shoulder down often leads to losing balance. I'm lifting that shoulder up not only by the shoulder lift itself, but also by crunching the obliques on the opposing side. So the outside hips, I'm crunching those while I'm lifting up the inside shoulder. That levels the bar and puts me into a very stacked and balanced position through the whole heel turn. And here, a toe turn, you can see how the bar is level to the ground. And what I really love about this particular image is that it kind of clears up this confusion of how to get low in a toe turn and how everybody's dragging their hand in the snow. I've been saying here a bunch that the hand on the inside of the turn is basically the one that has to lift up and move away from the snow, and that moving away actually gets the board higher on edge. And that is counterintuitive, but you can see here how it happens. It's knee joints, it's ankles, everything pushes into the turn. And what I'm trying to do is crunch the obliques on the outside. Again, this is for you, the right side you're looking at here, while I'm lifting the inside shoulder, that is the left shoulder you're looking at here. And that levels the bar, and again, it stacks me over the edge and puts me into a stable position. Insta360 reached out to me a few months ago and offered me a collaboration. They are providing the cameras for this footage here, and in return I give them a few reviews and I share my experience with the cameras here on my channel. So this is not entirely unbiased, but however, I think you've come to know now that I'm only saying that I'm using a certain product when I am actually using it. And I'm really grateful for this collaboration, because adding a camera like the Insta360 X4 really opens a whole new world of possibilities for me here. And what I appreciate the most about it is obviously the overall image quality. But the biggest thing for me is like the quality in slow motion footage that I get here. That is just fantastic. I can shoot at 5.7K, 60 frames per second, or if I need 100 frames per second for like proper slow motion action, it still shoots that in 4K. So I get really high quality video footage of my own riding, and that helps with my own riding. I can detect mistakes way better when it's recorded in slow-mo. Operation-wise and function-wise, there are a couple little cool things that make it really nice to shoot in the winter. You don't always want to take your gloves off and get cold hands. So this camera has what they call gesture control, where you can start and stop a recording with raising a hand. Or you can do it with voice control, and it simply responds to start recording or stop recording. That's super convenient when the temperatures here in Fernie drop to minus 20 degrees Celsius. And here finally the footage that the Insta360 X4 mounted to the end of that selfie stick is taken of your ride. I really like those perspectives. I think there are some cool things that you can see about your position and whether you're actually stable or not. Of course, this looks all a little bit static, which is due to the nature that this is a drill. It is not how I want you to ride after all. But this exercise does help with bringing attention to your lower joints, your ankles, your knees, your hips, to ride with those rather than with all kinds of movement of the upper body. Alright, if you are maybe interested in getting yourself one of those camera setups to get this kind of footage and practice those things, there is a code in the video description. Currently the Snow Bundle sale is on, where you can save up to $200. And yeah, feel free to use that code at checkout. And otherwise, happy turns out there, keep improving, it's all fun, and the better you get, the more fun you're gonna have. amazing. That was so good.